monthly subscription kit, and it is this fox, which I think he is looking not bad so far. This should be the finishing touches today to get his ears and everything else on. So hopefully everyone else who is making a fox, you're probably already finished, or at least the stage. I've seen some pictures of the foxes that everyone's made. I love how they're all foxy. They've all followed the same tutorial, but they all have their own individual character. But yeah, this is where I'm at. So let's, without further ado, well, I'm going to say, I see we've got a couple of people here already. So I'll say hello to you guys first, and then we'll get into this. So Bridget is in the house. Hello there. I'm awake of herself, but I'm feeling the same way myself. Allergies are really doing well just now. So yeah, it's either take antihistamines and sleep or have eyeballs weeping. Lisa, hello. Finally a Sunday released from my job to spend a few hours crafting. Yay, good to see you. Right, let's get down into this. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. We get the makers monthly subscription boxes and work through their craft boxes. This is not sponsored or affiliated. The makers are just wonderful people and make great kits. So it's good to support the needle felting community. Yeah, that's about it. So it's a fox this month. You get all the you get the tools in your first box, and you get all the materials to make your full project, which in this case is a very gorgeous fox. Diana's in the house as well. Hello there. Bridget, oh thank you, terrible about the allergies. I know I'm going to have to speak to the doctor at some point again. Alicia, hello there. Oh, am I on an echo? I've done it again. I need someone here to tell me, yeah, Pam, stop. Yeah. What happens when I put the second camera on? It's picking up the microphone twice. Thank you for letting me know. I'm an idiot. Hopefully that's me stopped echoing. So hello again, Bridget, Alicia, Diane, everybody who's Diana, sorry, and Lisa. Hopefully that's okay now. I am an idiot. Professional YouTuber. Right, so we've got to the point in Little Foxy where we should be making his ears, but I was just looking ahead. I was looking at the templates and everything, and I like, yeah, you can just about see this. I like how in this picture his nose is just a little more, can you see that? It's a little more babyish, and it's just less of a, what they call in dog breeding, they call it the stop, where it's the difference between sort of the front of the head and the nose, but this is more curved in. So I'm just in the mood to make it look a little more babyish, just taking a little pinch of fleece and popping it into the stop area to chunk it out ever so slightly. And I think I'll maybe chunk out the neck ever so slightly as well. That want them to be like fairly dainty, but I still want fine now on the audio. Thanks, guys. I am rubbish. Thumbs up for the professional stream. Thanks, guys. Oh boy, that's like every week for a week. You'd think I would remember. Turn off the second mic. Anyway, so I've just wrapped a bit of fleece around his neck. I'm going to add a bit more to his chest as well, so we don't get that too thin. So I'm just adding fleece wherever I want it to be, because with needle felting, it's never not right. It's never done. You can take scissors to it. You can add bits. Just keep sculpting it till you're happy. So I'm quite happy with the head and the neck yet. So I'm just working on making that a little bit better. Oh, Bridget, is it your birthday? Hello there. Eating chocolate at 1 a.m. because I just got a year older. Hey, need an excuse for eating chocolate at 1 a.m., but happy birthday. Sorry if there's a little... Can you let me know? I just got a notice saying that my internet connection was gone, but the stream was continuing and it's supposed to be back. If you can let me know, and if I missed or if you missed hearing what I said, but happy birthday, Bridget. Enjoy your birthday morning chocolate. That sounds great. Lisa, tech issues are completely normal. Well, what just happened, if it happened, is probably a tech issue. What happened earlier with connection lost? Don't worry, the show is still going on. Yeah, so either I'm just sounding insane talking about how it's been dropped and you haven't seen anything, or you guys are seeing blue screen of death for a few seconds and then back to me. But either way, I have no idea what's happening. I paid extra for a fancy Wi-Fi booster thing to get the Wi-Fi up to this area. This is not some kind of grim dungy basement, although people think it is. This is my upstairs spare bedroom, so I got a Wi-Fi booster so that the Wi-Fi would be okay up here, because I would fall over if I run cables up here to do the internet the sensible person's way. And I got a fancy thing that is supposed to, if my internet dips, my my server thingy is not a server. What am I looking for? My internet box is supposed to then take the mobile. Are we live again? It's still counting. Are you guys still here? I don't know what's happening now. This is annoying. My internet's back, but I don't know if the stream is back. So give me a hello in the chat. I don't think it is it? Oh, internet is great. Oh, Bridget's saying hi. I'm back. Or am I back? Let me let me know before I start doing it. I am okay. It's not. I'm usually I can see like how many people are live, so I can see it's live. So you can. I was just about to shut down everything, so I won't shut down everything. Okay, if it goes again like that, then we'll just say stream's not meant to be today. But hopefully, hopefully we're back for just now. Technology, wonderful. If you're new here, it's not usually as bad as this. It's usually a little better. Um, but yes, everyone's saying they see me. That's good. And Pamela's in the house. Hello, Oregon checking in. Hello there, Oregon. Hello, Pamela. All right. So if you've just joined, I am just attempting to bulk out my fox a little bit. I just want, his neck was a bit too skinny and weak, and I think his head was too grown up. I was more inspired by the slightly curved nature. I'm even, yes, gonna just gonna wrap a little bit more around here as well. I want a slightly more babyish face. He was looking a bit too old. Oh, Diana, don't shut down. I am trying not to, but there are times when technology just decides to hate on you. So you've got to go with that. But fingers crossed, whatever gremlins were happening have stopped happening. That's probably cursed it, hasn't it? With your foxes, yeah, one thing I forgot to say is always check they can stand up and everything, and they're kind of straight. But you can sort of manipulate the legs because of the way I made the shoulders. They can sort of push in and pull out just ever so slightly to make sure that they work. And with the way the hocks are, you can do the same. It's just fiddle about until he actually can stand up properly. Their legs are so dainty, and you've only got 4 points of contact with the floor, so play around with it until they can actually stand up. Alicia, my fox is still in the roadkill stage. Need to finish him now. Oh, the poor fox. Yeah, they go through stages, but yes, the roadkill stage is a horrible way to leave him. Brilliant. Okay, I think that's starting to look. Oh, thanks, Alicia. Yes, of course, it's a new month. So, yes, if you want the fox, you can't get him just now. But, Alicia, let us into secrets. Sometimes the makers take their monthly makers kits, and then they make it into a project kit later for you to be able to buy. Is the fox going to be a project? Is the fox just between us? Is the fox going to be released? But yes, so you can, if you sign up for the monthly makers kit, it will be for this month. It's May now, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's May now. So you'll get the May kit if you sign up, which we will be starting from next week if the postman gets his act together. He's very good usually. And that is going to be the little owl kit. So I'm looking forward to making a little owl. Oh, Alicia, she's putting in her apologies. We did a roll call and Alicia wasn't here, and we were all very cross. You guys are allowed a week off. You don't have to sign in every week. But Alicia missed us because last week she was at Wonderwool in Wales. That's a great Wonderwool in Wales. I like all the wobble use there. That's brilliant. Oh, Pamela, yes, it's May Day. I forgot. Aren't we supposed to say white rabbits as the first thing we say for the day? And I forgot. So that I don't know what that does, bad luck or something. But is that what's been happening for the past few years? Nobody said white rabbits. Alicia, definitely have a PDF of this soon. Honestly, not sure when the fox will be out. Maybe August. Oh well. So that's it. You've got to get in with these things, especially if it's a kit you like the look of, because we're not sure when they're going to happen. But yeah, I knew I would enjoy the fox kit because I tend to make most dogs, so I knew, I know I can. Touch wood, it's not finished yet, but I know I can make something that looks reasonably good because I know what I'm doing. Whereas with some of the other kits, you'll see, if you like to watch people struggling, I know the kits always work in the end, but I am going through going, oh, I'm not sure about this. So I am a lot more worried about the other kits because it's a challenge, but it's good to challenge yourself. You'll see behind me, I have puffins and owls and sheep and pandas. Lovebirds, you can just see a bit of one poking in there. And well, the dragons are mine. I make if I had my way, my entire career, I would populate the world with dragons. But people want dogs and cats now more. Yeah, but of course, May Day was yesterday for you. Yes, it's tomorrow for you. I really have to get on a stream. I don't even know when the lottery is here. I was going to say I have to get on a stream on, if it's a Thursday, get on a stream on Wednesday and ask you what the lottery numbers are. I wish it worked like that. Oh yeah, Pamela, indeed. Jealous of Alicia. Hope you got lots of goodies and visits with friends. Yeah. I think a wool festival in Wales would be cool because Wales is lovely and has good sheep. It's known for its sheep, most definitely. But it's a beautiful place to visit, and if the weather was nice, absolutely lovely. Just a bit sad it's so far from where I am now. I used to live fairly close to Wales, so I have visited many a times in the past. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think hopefully you can see the difference. It's not quite firmly felted, but we'll get over that in a minute. But hopefully you can see it's less pointy now and more curved. So you just add little bits until you're happy. And if you go too much, you can felt more into it, or you can cut the whole snout off and start again. I'm not going to do it because everybody would wince. But I believe the next section I have to do is ears. So I've got, look, I'm using a felting mat. I can't even remember what way up it's supposed to be. And we've got a little template to make the ears. So hopefully I don't go too off with the size. It's going to be too big. My ears are always too big. Not physically. They're all right. But just 2 pinches of fleece, and then to make these, and I know everyone, shock horror, Pam is using a felting pad. So we want about, so what you're doing is you just felt a straight line. I'm just felting a lot of stabs into this kind of shape. And what this is going to do is it's basically going to felt the fibers into the felting mat. So it's stuck in there a little bit. Don't worry, we will fix it. You can even, if you're not sure about freehanding it, what I should probably do is cut out something this size. Can I even show you? If you'd cut out, that fits kind of well. Cut out something that size and then just felt along it like a little bit of a template and stab quite a few times, and you can see how the fibers are attached there into my felting surface. And then while I'm still vaguely remembering the shape, because your hands are really sort of good at remembering sizes that you've just done, remembering shapes you've just done, not exactly but close enough. So while I remember that, I go in and do the second one, do the exact same thing, felt along, so your fibers are now trapped into the surface, and then you can gently just pull them over, and that is just holding where you felt it. If you pull too hard, you'll pull it out, but if you pull just gently enough, you get a nice clean line, which is handy. And then do the other side. If this isn't too bad, sometimes I put too much fiber because the point of this is obviously you've got a lot of fiber folding over into the middle, and if you need to, you can just pull off some of the top so that it doesn't get too bulky. But that is, for me, not too bad at all. So you have quite easily a little shape. It's not felted yet. If I tried to use that just now, it would fall apart, but it's the beginnings of an ear. It's the start of something. Just checking the chat. Alicia at her Welsh wool thingy with a load of W's in it that I can't remember what it was now, bought a 28-inch peg loom to make rugs. Oh, fab. Excited to do some wool rugs for my caravan. That sounds fun. And yes, this is the eco mats. They're 100% wool. Well, they're 100% compostable. They break down, and they're eco. They don't kill the fishes and the animals. It's a nice thing. And I've seen makers are using projects now where you can like put this into the project to use it as a bit of structure. So even when your mat is all manky and horrible looking, it's just wool, you can use it. So very cool. Yeah. Bridget Moon's always ahead of us, says Pamela. Yep. Alicia's wanting to use this fox brown colour that we've got from the makers to make her rug in her caravan. Yeah, that would be lovely. It is a really nice colour. Mm-hmm. Felt wicked. Tobias, g'day from Brisbane. What time is it for you guys? It really is ridiculous o'clock in the morning, isn't it? And it's Monday with you guys. Right, so if you are, see, these are not exactly the same size. They're sisters, not twins. You want to remember and pick these up and turn them, but you can see there's a bit of my mat caught in them. You can see it's still really fluffy. It's not going to hold its shape yet. What I'm going to do, Alicia will be sitting ready with the links here. In fact, she'll have the links to the better thing, but this is 3 needle felting tool. So I've got 3 needles in it, so it felts 3 times as fast. Because I'm the idiot minor canary, the makers actually sell. I'm totally happy with this, but the makers sell a better version of this that's easier to load, because I did on live TV, tried to load the needles into this and it's very fiddly. But once they're in, it's super. 3 needles, so you're stabbing 3 times as much for each stab. So things felt down a bit quicker. Now I can see this ear's got a bit more fibre on it than this ear, it happens. So I'm just adding a little pinch extra. So they're about the same size. And you guys will all laugh when I get to the end and I decide the ears are too big and cut them down anyway, so I didn't need to do that, but whatever. Oh, Bridget, ahead, but it means I'm always older. Oh, but 12 hours, that's hardly worth worrying about. It means you got to your birthday quicker. Christine, it's 11:20 a.m. on a Sunday here. Cool. We are 4:20 p.m. in the UK. Just heading for tea time. I'm getting starving already. And Alicia got the link. But yeah, the 3 needle tools, very cool, especially if you're trying to do. There's no hurry for felting, but it's nice to be able to get things, whether nice and easy like this. It doesn't take much concentration. It's nice to have a tool that just gets things a little bit faster. And I much prefer using more needles at once rather than using a firmer felting needle, because I prefer the effect of like gradually felting the things rather than a single needle sort of felt too much all in one go. 3 needles sort of are more gentle with it. Alicia saying Christine and Pam are always behind. And Tobias, exactly. It's natural time travel. Right, now before I pick this up, this is getting to the point where it's starting to hold together a bit. That one's still thicker than that one, but we'll run with it. And before we get to that, it did say to use the darker colour, which is a brown. It's not black, but it's a very dark brown, just along the very tippies of his ear. So all I'm doing, I've taken off a pinch and I'm kind of drafting it out, gently pulling the fibres across each other so it gets a little bit longer. So we've got a wispier thing. Again, does not have to be exact, but just going to put this along the tops of his ears. And I'm not being careful with this, because what tends to happen is you'll felt these things, and then once it's nicely felted, one side will look a little bit better than the other. So you pick the good looking side, because ears can be double-sided. You pick the good looking side when you're done. So I'm not worrying about getting it too nice. And if you felt it on and twist and turn it, then the fibres kind of mesh with each other, so it becomes more of a blend, like kind of what we've done with the legs. The colours are blended, so it's not quite as harsh a line. You will hopefully see. Alicia, have you ever used a brush mat, Pam? I think I got one right at the start, but I've never really liked them. Honestly, right from the very start, my first day of needle felting, I just picked stuff up between my fingers. Yeah, I'm adding more. I just picked stuff up between my fingers and went straight away with that. I can see the use for the mats for doing ears and stuff like that, although half the time I don't even. Most of the time when I'm felting, I'm not at a table. I'm just felting in front of the telly, just like curled up on the sofa, felting away. So I don't use any mats at all. When I'm filming for felting, it is much easier when you're at a table to use the mats for the ears. I just don't like the brush mats, to be honest. I'm sure I've probably got one somewhere. I'm not sure where it is now. But yeah, never really liked it. I know your bits won't stick to it. Oh, Pamela's asking, when are the brush mats appropriate? They don't come large enough. Yeah, it would be very expensive to get a decent sized one. Yeah, they are good for little things. I've noticed they tended to be used more for appliques, where you're putting something on top of something, and then the needle felting people just kind of dived into using them as well. So yeah, I don't think, I can't talk too much about things that I've not really used, but I don't think they would be great for like starting the ear, because it's very loose and there's nothing so much to hold it. But you can put coverings over the brush mat, but that defeats the purpose slightly. But yeah, they do seem to be handy if you want to hold something bigger. That could be easy. Or if you're putting applique color on top of color. Diana's saying, yeah, for 2D work. Yeah, I can see that that's the kind of similar thing. I've mainly seen them used for, like putting something onto a piece of clothing or something. You're not going to have the issue of things sticking to your mat the same as you do with a regular mat. But yeah, I think you would have to have a decent fabric that you're putting things on. Don't know. Anyone else use them? Hands up if you use the mats, the brush mats. That's it. Alicia uses them. Steffi doesn't use them much either. Use them for ears, butterflies, 2D landscapes. Just move them over and work a part at a time. Yeah, I can totally see that. And yeah, it would be kind of handy. It's just I never got round to figuring out how to use them, so I never used them. Let's see how I did for that. I'm not doing bad. I'm getting my sizes not bad at all. Although my fox looks like he's on a different age group than the fox in the picture. I think this has to be the closest I've ever got to the right sizes, doesn't it? That's crazy. And I think for me, that looks like the outside of the ear. It's a little more blended, and then this is the inside where it's more just like a line. That's for me. It's your fox and your fox ear. And this looks like a mess. Let's get this a bit better sorted. Yeah, Alicia, think when you're felting onto things like felt or water soluble paper or pre-felt. Yeah, so it is kind of what I thought. It's for felting onto things. That makes sense. I could see how it would have been cool for making like the butterflies and stuff. Alex, can get back to watching you now. Alice in Wonderwool has been shown. What? What is this? Love this fox. Yes, I always love making foxes. They're just such great. They're such great critters anyway. Foxes are so striking and so lovely, but they do felt up really well. It's just the colours are just so nice that it just always looks kind of okay. Alicia's laughing at me that I'm finally figuring out how to use a template correctly. Finally. So tell you, this rust stuff doesn't half felt up fairly well, quite firmly. Oh, Alicia's saying Alex's Alice in Wonderwool was amazing. What have I missed? Yeah, I've got right. Let me know. Let me know in the chat or let me know in the Facebook group. But this sounds exciting. Right, I'm going to. I think the ears go on next. The ears go on next. Yes, I will. So, just positioning the ears roughly where I want them. The head's probably not as firmly felted as I would want, but after the technical issues, I'm just wanting to get everything done in case of computer gremlins again. But you can, when you're felting the things, if they aren't perfectly felted, it's kind of good as well because you're still sculpting it. Like as the ears go on, you're just like, oh, the head needs scrunched up more there. It needs this. You can change things. It ain't done till you're happy with it. So while they're still both a bit soft, although this ear's firmer than that one, take time, get them even. Popping ear number 2 on. One thing, where did I put it? I found it's kind of fun for ears. Sometimes they can be fiddly, so you can use a little corner of a mat just to get in there and hold them. I seem to touch wood, I'm doing okay with these ears today, but sometimes they're just more fiddly than usual, so I just use a little corner of a little tiny felting mat. Here, Alex is saying exhibition that grew in Wonderwool Lewis Wells. We'll put some photos on the Facebook group. Oh, thank you. I'm excited to see that. I probably said everything wrong there, but yeah. Bridget, you're following the directions, but I know it happens occasionally. I am terrible for following directions. This is another challenge for me with the makers, actually, because literally I started needle felting. I got the book, it was Fleece Dogs, I think it was called, which has the most adorable pictures on it. I got the book and then ordered some supplies and looked at all the pictures in the book. And basically, I made the series definitely a little bit thinner than the other, so I'm just adding a pinch. I looked at all the pictures, all the tutorials for all the dogs in the book, read through it all, and the very first sculpture I made was my own dog. That's how much I followed directions. I bought a book of directions and didn't follow them for the very first thing. And then after that, I kind of no, I didn't follow the book very well at all. I copied some of the breeds of dog that they'd done, but I didn't copy it at all. I was terrible. So yeah, the makers, I think I did some tutorials before this. Probably the tutorial that I've followed the most was one we did ages ago. I can't remember who was with me for that. It's so long ago. But I found a wood carver that was doing a carving a wizard project, and for some bizarre reason my head said we could do that in felt. So I followed a wood carving tutorial just about to the letter to make a needle felted sculpture. So yeah, I'm needle felting directions. A few times I never did it live. I don't think they would appreciate me playing their videos on my videos, but Serafina, I followed a few of her tutorials, but mainly no, I don't follow them. I watch it and I felt along and I get angry and I yell stuff about her being witchcraft and why does it all go so quick and so well for her, and then I sort of do it my own way. Her work is amazing. Tobias, what have you done with the real Pam? I follow directions. I mean, granted, in 2008 I started felting, and literally it's taken me about 3 minutes to explain to you all the times that I've followed a tutorial, which is actually one entire time, and it wasn't a tutorial for this. And I've done not bad, kind of, mainly following. No, I've the makers tutorials. It's very rare that I even make them the size they're supposed to be. This fox is this fox is the right size. Yeah, this is probably one of the ones I've followed the most. I think the owl and the puffin were the right size. The lovebirds weren't even close. The panda's half size, the sheep's half size, the dogs are half size. Yeah, not very good. Oh, thanks. Alicia's got the pictures up on the Facebook group. I will check that out. I'm not going to check it out just now. I'll check it out when I'm offline because I don't want to touch a single thing and jinx the internet. But thank you. I will check that out once we're done here. I'm sure it's glorious. And yes, if you haven't joined, it's Pam Duthie's Crafty Friends on Facebook. It's supposed to be Pam Duthie's Crafty Clan, but Facebook hates me and for some reason will not let us form a clan. Won't let me change the name of the group. So we secretly know it's the Crafty Clan, but it says Crafty Friends. Oh, he's decided to have a slightly tilted head and looks a touch like a donkey. His ears are a bit too large just now. But it's just a case of like holding them in the shape I want and keeping felting with them till they're a bit how I like them. Oh, I was going to say I've just done a video, but it's not. It's for the Creative Fabrica website where I've been doing classes for them, but I did just show them. I did just do a method for how to fix an ear if it's too large, because I do that all the time. I go a bit crazy with my ears and they end up being too large. And the secret, I'm going to tell you for free. The secret is if you just in the top cut a V and then pinch it together, then you reduce the size of the ear. And the gross and crazy reason I came up with that as a method to fix ears that were too big was I was watching plastic surgeons and they were talking about, sorry if you're just going to eat or it's a bit gross or whatever, they were talking about how they do ear reduction surgery on humans, and they mentioned it would look really false if they sort of cut the ear into the shape they wanted, because you'd lose all the edges of your ear. So they cut out a chunk and bring the edges together. That's how they do it in humans. Sorry guys if that's grossing you out or making you have sore, you'd like but when he suggested that, and I thought that sounds really good, because what I'd been doing before was like cutting off the ear and then cutting it down a bit and then sticking it back on, which was really a pain because it was felted nicely onto the head. By the time I'd decided an ear was too large, I'd probably felted it down like quite a lot, and I'd got the base how I wanted it. It was just the ears were making it look a bit like a donkey. So just hearing that, I thought, gave it a try, and it works fantastically well. So just a little V cut into it, but don't start cutting the ears until that is way too flexible. There's a whole lot more felting I can do. So if you're not happy with the size of the ears, just to make sure you've felted them a good bit. They're a bit firmer before you decide, because they're going to get smaller the more you felt them anyway. Inappropriate thoughts that come into your head, right? I was just one of the few things that get smaller the more you play with it. Right? Sorry. I have not had much. I've not had enough sleep, and I'm having the childish sense of humor. I apologize. I'm sorry, Mum. Oh, Bridget, you're most welcome. I'm glad I can help. I still struggle. I was thinking of this when I was scripting a video for something else. I always feel like I'm really worried about being patronizing and telling people things that they already know and stuff. And then I think, hang on, I'm on the internet here, and I'm supposed to be teaching you how to do things. So I can't assume that everybody knows how to do everything. So yeah, let me know if I'm too basic sometimes, but I try and explain things because it's supposed to be my job. You can see just in that this wool does felt quite quickly, but you can just see in just our little talking here how much the ear has felted down a bit. And again, just always looking if you're happy with the shape, how it's how it's sitting. You can easily, like, I want the ear a bit more upright, so I'm just holding it into an upright position, watching my fingers and felting there. Tobias, you're talking about my receding hairline again, aren't you? Oh. There's lots of magical treatments for that nowadays. I don't know if I would want them. I think sometimes you have to deal with the fact it's not quite the same for women, but definitely we have less. It's really sad actually. I look at loads of different hairstyles and think, oh, it'd be great to have my hair cut short and try different styles and stuff, and then think, what happens if it won't grow back? So I'm just stuck with it because I'm worried it won't be here if I got rid of it. And there seems to there's a certain thing. I've never met it myself, but plenty of women talk about it. When you reach a certain age, you're not supposed to have hair beyond a certain length. I'm never going to, we know I'm not going to follow those rules, even if I knew what they were, but it seems ridiculous. I can have long hair as long as my hair wants to stay long. And I think for you guys as well, if you've got, keep what you want. Don't make people tell you you've got to cut it off, because we don't know how long we've got it for. Right, he's looking a bit more foxy, isn't he? And I am happy I kind of babied up the muzzle a bit. That does look a kind of cute. Right. Let's move on, but I will still, as I'm moving on, I will still be playing around with his ears and everything else. I do have a little bit, I will do that now. If you can see it, ooh, that side. I've got a little bit of where I've joined the ear that doesn't look so smooth, so I'm just going to take a tiny bit of fleece just to cover that over. You can, how you use your needle and where you're felting, you can get seamless joins, but sometimes just little bits want to look a bit nicky, so you can just hide it with a little bit of extra pinch of fleece, and there we go. And I will keep felting all over the place. Right, what are we supposed to do? Make indentations where you want the eyes to go. Fox predator eyes will be quite out to the front of the head. Let's look at the pictures. Let's find the pictures. Yes, kind of. I see it's round about here. So they're going facing forwards, and we're definitely giving them a kind of cat eye sort of shape. Foxes just seem like the perfect mix between a cat and a dog, don't they? Right. I mean, you can Disneyfy them, make the eyes bigger, more round to the side, all sorts of things. Alicia, your hair matches your backdrop. Yeah, that's just one of these strange things that happens when you like the same color. And you just keep buying things in the same color. There's actually there's quite a lot of colors I don't like in the backdrop, but it all comes together, like all the yellows and everything. But I think it comes together pretty cool. Exactly, Bridget. Be yourself. Everyone should be themselves. And yeah, whatever those rules used to be, don't follow them rules. Right, so we've made indentations. The eyes are facing forward. See, if I just read ahead instead of the makers make it so I don't have to think, which is great. So we've made the indentations, and they're saying do the nose. I like this. This is different to how I would do the nose. You've seen me 100 times roll into a ball, felt between the 3 fingers to get a slightly triangular shape. But this time they are just saying just to felt the wisp, that's not enough of a wisp, to felt it onto the end of the nose rather than so it's a layer placed on rather than a rounded nose, which does mean that I sometimes do have quite a problem with the end of the nose ski sloping up a bit because I've put too much fleece on. So that is working. Off the top of my head, I can't think what shape fox noses are, so I'm assuming they're kind of similar to dog's noses. Yeah, that actually works really well and stops him having the upturned nose that I keep doing by making his nose too big. It's looking a bit like a Great Dane for me. Alicia, we brought our neighbourhood foxes dog food and found out that they actually prefer cat food. Ah, that's interesting. Oh, cool. Bridget's hair is a beautiful purple right now. Mine's a very faded purple. Ah, awesome. Yeah, that's the only problem is you do have to work on the upkeep for sure. Right, I've done that. It tells me this. Shape the nose into a tri. Again, Pam, read the instructions. Everything's in the instructions. Yep. So it's flat across the top, narrowing towards the center. It's all in there in the instructions. Take the golden yellow wool, felt into the eye socket. So yeah, we're wanting this so it kind of shows once we put the eye in. That's probably too much, but it might not be. We'll find out. So the eye's going. This is more like the color, going to be the color of the iris, and the eye is the glue-in eye, which is what size? Oh, the ickle bitty ones. But yeah, so the glue-in iris is the glue-in eye is going to be the pupil. Yeah, it's a fun way to do it like that. And then you've got the best of both worlds, a kind of felted eye and a glass eye, so you get the little glints of light on it too. That did not end up being too much. I am attempting to concentrate to make the two eyes even. They are not going to be, but let's pretend. There we go. Make indentations. Oh, we've done that. We've done that. We've done that. Felting needle. Make a hole in the center of the yellow. And I've got my glue pen. Hopefully it's not dried up or something now that I'm being all proud of it. But yeah, so just fountain loads in the same place. Be careful. I am feeling the wire in the head here, so you've got to be careful not to force your needle. If you get it in the wrong direction, you might hit the wire. So just really, really gentle. You don't have to felt too deeply. My eyes are stuck together. There we go. So hopefully that's a big enough hole. There you go. We've got one eye in. He looks a little bit startled just now, a little bit like it, but we will sort that out. And make hole number 2. Oh, Tobias, your hair, that's nothing compared to the faded purples. Yours is black, grey and missing. Well, I have noticed in bleaching my hair nowadays, it definitely doesn't take as long to bleach the roots, that's for sure. But I'm kind of tempted to leave them somewhat because my roots my hair doesn't seem to be going grey. It seems to be going white, which I think could be quite awesome. But I don't know. I let the roots grow out a bit, and then I think, no, I've got to dye my hair. Right. You look a little startled, but I'm sure. Trust the process, Pam. Makers never get it wrong. Right, I'm just going to check. Yep. Just checking that's still running. So tiny dab. And then pop it back in. Oh, Alicia, Tobias is trying to be the perfect Santa for Christmas. Well, yes, exactly. It's just in training to get the perfect hair for Santa. Little spillage out of the glue, but that is fine. Yeah, if there's too much, when you just dab it, it'll come off on your fingers. I'm such a tidy, neat crafter. There we go. So he's got his eyes. does look a little like a startled donkey, but we'll work on that. I think we've still got some bits to do. Yes, optional, we can add some. So we're going to do this optional. So this is to go around his eyes. I'm twisting off a little tiny thread of this dark colour, and it's easier. In fact, yeah, that's a bit too tiny. It's easier if you roll it between your fingers. The heat and let's be honest, a little bit of sweat and everything on your fingers sort of felts it a little bit, makes it easier to use. So make yourself some little strands. These might even be too little, but we'll find out. And I want to give him a little more pointy down towards his nose, bring the black down there. I can't remember. I do it with cats. I think it'll look good for a fox. I can't remember if foxes are like that, but giving him slightly more cat's eye shape. Make him look a little more sleekit. Oh yeah, I think that looks good. Never going to get it even. And it highlights, what doesn't highlight, it's the opposite, it's black, but it shows up the yellow quite a bit more as well. Sort of separates it from the tan. Yeah, we did not get that even at all. There's something a bit Disney about just leaving it. Looks a bit cross-eyed and surprised as well. Something a bit Disney about just leaving the top, but I'm going to put bottom eyelashes on as well. And if your end's a bit fuzzy as well, you can fold it over and roll, and then you get a kind of cleaner point. There's the bit I can't really talk at because I'm paying attention to felting. There it is. Then we've got the white to add. I'm not sure where I'll put the whiskers, but I'm terrible at attaching whiskers. I'm personally not a fan of adding whiskers. I know a lot of people do, and I get a lot of customers, especially with cats. They're obsessed that their cats' entire identities wrapped up in their whiskers. Don't know what that's about, but I just son, can you both your eyes at least face the same way? It was getting a little cross-eyed. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of how the whiskers tend to look, but lots of people put them in really well. I do not. So I can't remember where I put the whiskers, so we're leaving the whiskers out. But what I will add is I'm going to give him, I would make us do it anyway, a thin line for the mouth, exactly the same thing, and then I'm going to add the white, and then he's going to be done. I can leave you to get your day. You can, the mouths, I love, if you make a longer mouth, you can make it, he wants to smile, doesn't he? Okay, I was just going to do a little short, little almost a straight line, but that just dropped on there and gave him a ton of character, so we will do that. He's a little happy. There we go. And then we've just got the white to add. And our fox is done. The whiskers do look very cute, but that's just not my thing. Tobias is looking very bush ranger or Paul. I don't know the second one. I know bush ranger. Well, I don't personally. But I don't know Paul. And yes, as well as the red and black brown down his legs, the white underneath really kind of makes them as well. Although now he's got a beard. He's going to fight Tobias to try and get to be Santa. My little Santa Foxy is. We give him a fair bit of white. And these are, it's your fox. You can look at pictures of foxes in the wild. I have in my head, I'm going quite so high up here because a fox that I personally met in the wild came up to my car and begged for dog treats and actually sat wagging its tail like a small dog at the side of my car. He had quite a lot of white up the side of his face, so I'm basing him on my little Highland Holiday Foxy. But yeah, you add the white to whatever you think of. Alicia, so what we're going to be making next week? I believe it's supposed to be. You're the expert here, Alicia. I think it's a small owl, is it not? In the kits next week, which I see my order sort of goes through on the 1st, so it should be with me by next week. If not, who knows? I still have the red panda that I never got round to at Christmas. December. December's kit was the red panda. I'm an idiot and just didn't have time to do it all. Oh, Tobias, it's Afrikaans for Uncle Paul is the Paul. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that. Got a couple of friends that are from South Africa, but I don't know much about the place really. A load of my friends went over once for someone I kind of knew's wedding, and it looked awesome, everything they did. Looks like a great place. Alicia, yep, the makers is the small owl box next week. Yes, because I think we have just got to smooth this down, but we have nearly finished Mr. Foxy. Oh, I forgot we were supposed to put some white into the ears as well. So little pinches of white into the ears, and then he's nearly finished. Tobias, yeah, you use horse or cow tail hairs or llama guard tail hairs for whiskers. Yeah, I know a lot of people do. I even I've got friends that have horses and things, and they were donating the naturally shed horse hair and stuff, but horse tail hair. But it just never looks good to me. It always annoys me, and I'm okay adding glue into the eyes because you don't see it so much. I don't like glue in the muzzle, especially with cats. I spend absolutely ages trying to get the cats' muzzles right because cat faces are super difficult, and then I hate, and I've spent all that work, and then the customer goes, oh, what about the whiskers? And I have to say, do you really want me to repeatedly stab the face of your beautiful cat, and then it'll get all deformed even if I've felted it lovely? So I can usually talk them out of it, but I'm not a fan. Tobias, red panda, yes please. Yeah, I have it sitting, it's sitting waiting, and I definitely want to do it. I don't have any here. I've been making red panda bookmarks because I just really like red pandas, and again, it's the color combination. There's something so nice about this kind of gingery color. It's very Scottish. Also, half the Americans I know, if they see anything ginger, they're just like, oh, it's Irish. But apparently Scots have a higher proportion of people with red hair than anywhere else in the world. I don't have red hair. I have very boring mousy coloured hair in real life, which is probably why I don't ever let it be seen. But yes, I do love red. Oh, Erica, hi there. Too late. Not too late. You managed to get in and say hello. That's still good for me. And you missed all the technical difficulties. We had a terrible start to the stream, so yeah. Uh, Tobias, use a needle to pull the long hair through the nose both sides equally. Yeah, I, I know it's possible. I just do you know how it is? If there's just something that you just don't like, you never learn how to do it properly. It's every time. It's like at this stage. I mean, I don't have a needle up here anyway, and I don't know what I did with whiskers. But I could on this, but it's like if I've made something for a customer, I've got to this stage and I'm just thinking, yeah, this is looking really good. I just think this is the last thing that could totally mess it up. So I prefer not to, because I think it's just because it's at that last stage when the whole critter's done and suddenly, oh bless you, I was looking to make a kind of sly old fox, and he seems a little bit derpy. um Erica, greetings from me. Greetings to you, Erica. Oh, good to see you anyway. He's cute but a bit derpy. But of course, if you're not 100% happy, I'm happy. I'm letting his own character come through. I think he's cute. But if you're not happy, don't stop. Keep on working on it. But yes, I just like sometimes there's the serendipity, like when I dropped the piece of felt on for his mouth and it came out looking really cool with a smile. So this is just how he wanted to be. So yeah, sometimes, especially when you're just making them for yourself, it's different when it's for a customer and you're like, I'm making something and it just wants to go a bit derpy, and you're like, do I think that the customer thinks her dog's a bit derpy? So you've got to be a little more strict. But with something like this, it's just like go with what looks good, and I think he's all right. The last time I did a fox, I did it to about this size, but I decided to go crazy with the hair. So I embedded long hair into him and did all the color blends and everything through the hair, and then trimmed it down so it was like really tight to the body. So it was hardly worth having done it, but it was really, really awesome. Oh, thanks, Rose, saying it looks awesome. And Erica, the tail turned out cool. Yeah, from me doing it completely wrong. So if you want an alternative way to do the tail when you've dropped your needles down the back of the table, then go back to, I was going to say class number 1. Oh, that's it. Go back to live stream number 1 of the fox and you'll see how I did the tail. Because at this minute in time, I can't remember how I did the tail, but I remember that I didn't do it. I didn't do it as per the instructions, which is a great method that involves a bit of sewing and a bit of making a pom-pom. Very cool method. I didn't have needles with me, so I made it my own way, and I can't remember what that way was. So there you go. Tobias, a bit of a derp on a dreich day. It's actually not too bad here, but there we go. Yes, this kit's Scottish word was dreich, which is yes, just a great way to explain the weather that we get quite a lot of the time. Oh, my derpy wee fox. But the cool thing about this, I think that'll do with the felting. The cool thing is he is entirely posable. So you can put him in all sorts of positions if you wish. And even his little paws should be posable, so you can. I don't know if foxes do play bows like dogs do. I imagine they must. Yeah, so all kinds of positions. I liked his little paw up actually, but not his head too much to the side. There we go. So you can play with your fox however you want. Let's go just down to one camera again, so you can get a look at him. I don't know what tail's up in the picture. That's Oh, and it does say, yeah, we can do some more shading if we wanted. Definitely, especially with these bits that we've blended, we could add some shading into the fur wherever you want, which I think would be lovely. But here he is. Here's my derpy, cute fox. But I'm so glad. If you missed it between episodes 1 and 2, I decided his legs were too short, and I'm glad that I increased the length. So watch if you're making this. It was my mistake, but watch and make sure that your legs don't get too short. Although I've seen a lot of people are doing them with shorter, and it looks more like a cub. Also, I think I went a bit too long with the body, which is why that happened. But I was able to fix it. So yeah, this has been a one of fixes. If your ears are too big, you can cut them down. If your legs are too short, I was able to go in and unwind the wire and make longer legs for him. Oh, cool. You can find the pom if you want to know how to make the tail properly. There's the pom pom tail video on the Maker's YouTube channel, and if you're not subscribed to it, you totally should be. They go live often as well. Some great videos there too. So. Anyway, I look forward to seeing your foxes. Post them in the Makers group if you haven't already, because this is their kit, but you can also share them in Pandathy's Crafty Friends, not clan. Pamdathy's crafty friends. Okay, guys. Oh, we've got to hang on. Give him his spot. You can just see his white chest mainly. Okay, thank you so much, guys, and I will see you next week, hopefully for an owl. Who knows? Depends how the post does.